What up? It's your boy, the Incredible Man, and yes, I am back at it again. And this is Beastars chapters 134, 135, and 136. Man, let's get right into it with 134, Final Contact. We're dealing with everything of Legacy kind of having like an outer body experience, seeing his mother, and us seeing her for the first time, and Legacy, kind of feeling some type of way. But then us feeling some type of way because we learned out why his mother pretty much committed suicide, more than likely, in how her body started to actually turn into that of a Komodo dragon. But that's so much more, man. And I know somebody told me that I pronounced her name wrong. I'll try to pronounce it right. It's so hard, man. Like I told you guys, I'm from South Georgia, man, and I pronounce a lot of stuff wrong. But I'm gonna try, okay? 134, man. Legacy. How was school? I changed seats. I'm sitting next to my friend now, and I'm happy for that. And on my way home, I plucked a bunch of dandelions for you. Good boy. So this is what they mean by final contact. There's a hole in the door, and that's how Legacy has to touch her and come in contact with it. Oh, that's messed up, man. That's so sad. What cute flowers. We ought to put them in water and let them grow. Want to come buy a vase with me? There's a flower shop at the shopping district. At the shopping district down the corner that sells vases or vases, however you want to say it. I'm sorry. I'm scared to go outside. Wow, man, that's so messed up. And Legacy feels some type of way because he just wants to see his mother. He doesn't really comprehend like what she's dealing with or why she's dealing with it. And I feel like the reason she's dealing with it is because, she put so much emphasis on just being normal and I'm just a beautiful wolf and, I don't want people knowing that my father is a Komodo dragon. And now her being part wolf and part Komodo dragon, the Komodo dragon is starting to show and it's starting to change her outer appearance. But she was so fixated on her outer appearance. Oh, I keep saying appearance that now that it's starting to show, her mind is already warped and not really stable to handle her changing into that part. You guys catch what I'm saying? Legacy, you're back. I finished with work early. Want to make spring rolls with me? Welcome, Grandpa. Okay. How was school today? I changed seats and I now sit next to Jack. Oh, Jack. And we kind of see the scars, well, not the scars, but the scales popping out from under her fur, and it looks like it's on her forearm, the back of her arm, and her back, like really, really bad. That's great. We need to invite him here again sometime. And then we see like a nice little wide shot of her standing in her room, a small room, and just her silhouette holding the flowers, looking kind of dazed and confused. Oh man. Oh, dude, her eye started to change too. One eye still looks like Legacy's, and the other kind of looks like Gosha's a little bit. I'm starting to really get why she. I mean, I still don't see. Man, oh man, Grandpa, is Mom not coming out of that room? Oh, don't worry about her. Her body's just unwell, so she doesn't have her usual vigor. She can't stay in that room forever. She'll come out eventually. I'm sure she wants to see you grow up. So I'm assuming Gosha doesn't know either because she went to the doctor alone. So I'm assuming Gosha doesn't know either. And yeah, like her fur's starting to fall off her body and everything. When you were in elementary school, my body had morphed to where I couldn't show myself to you or your grandfather. Oh wow. I'm sorry I couldn't pay more attention to you when you needed it the most. Not that my apology means anything now that I'm a ghost. Don't worry. I knew you didn't want to go outside because you were worried about how you looked. You knew? Wow. And he kept his composure and everything. That's your mom, man. I mean, you can't. I could feel your fixation towards outward appearances through that hole. See, that's the thing. Like she was so focused on her outer appearance. Why I keep saying appearance? Yeah, that's right. Appearance. That like when her outer appearance started to change, her mental stability wasn't there to really keep up with what's happening to her body because you are half Komodo dragon, half gray wolf. You knew that eventually, more than likely, some part of you was going to change. Whether it was when you were super older, or it just didn't change at all, and it done like how you're doing now. You know what I'm saying? So that's the sad part. But Legacy knew this though. I could feel your fixation towards outward appearances through that hole. You would hold out your hand to pat my head and then proceed to touch my face, like you were checking how my facial features were doing. Oh man. So you knew, but that was but that was how I expressed my love for you. I didn't want you to go through the same metamorphosis that I was going through. I was checking to see if you had any scales. It's on the back of her legs and her thigh and everything. So what it is like, it seems like the scales, it's not replacing her fur. It's like it was under her fur, but it didn't really start to like show itself, or she couldn't feel it until she got that age. I was checking to see if you had any scales, but as I had intended, your father was beautiful and your body was sturdy. I had no doubt that you were going to grow up to be a normal gray wolf. It's okay now. I'm sure of it. Yeah, it's all over her body, man. When I checked that you were okay after you had turned 12, I felt the burden lift from my shoulders. It's time to leave this room. It was time to say goodbye to my son. That's messed up, man. Legacy. So she got into bed with him and just held him, because she hadn't really been able to really grasp him. She just kept touching him with her hand. And she's laying in his bed. The night before I killed myself, I went to your bed, hugged you from behind, and slept beside you for a little while. I'm sorry I didn't bother waking you up. I suppose I was selfish. I was a selfish mother to the bitter end. I'm sorry for fooling you. Huh? You see, I was surprised and happy when you came to my futon after all the times that you talked to me behind the door. I wanted to hug you back and see your face, but I didn't. He knew that he wasn't asleep. He wasn't asleep. See, this is why Legacy's a great character, man. This stuff like this is what makes Legacy a great character. Even after all of that stupidity that happened a couple chapters ago, this is what makes Legacy a great character, man. I knew how hurt you would have been if I looked at you. So I stood as still as I could. Man, that shot. It's a nice widespread of his mom with her scales and all hugging Legacy, and him just looking like probably like just focused on the wall, and he's just looking. He's like, oh man, that's good. So I stood as still as I could, and she's looking at him like, what? And Legacy go, Mom, I feel regret every time I remember that night. If I had given it to my emotions and faced you back then, maybe I could have stopped you from killing yourself. So that's what he's been living with. That's why I wanted to face hybrid animals, but I got too emotional and almost got killed for it. So I'm glad that he's kind of recognizing his mistake, because that was stupid for you to do that. I always screw up when it matters the most. I'm such an idiot. My life is full of regrets. So she looks at him. Life is always full of regrets. Trying to make up for your regrets is how you live with it. I still have many regrets in my life, but I gave birth to you. That alone makes me a winner at life. See, oh, my heart. I'm sorry I wasn't a good mother to you. Even though I still love you, I can't hold you anymore. Live more, Legacy. You shared my blood and your grandfather. You share my blood and your grandfather's blood. You can be stronger and sweeter. You can be stronger and sweeter than any pure-blooded wolf ever could. Legacy isn't doing well. Okay. You can be stronger and sweeter than any pure-blooded wolf ever could. So that's probably the last thing his mom ever said to him. And then we jump straight into Yafa and Gosha. Legacy isn't doing so well. Gosha, do you hate me? No. Thank you for telling me as soon as you found him. I'm not going to fly into a blind rage or anything. That is, if Legacy doesn't win. Ghost. Look at Ghost. This man. I was pissed too. I was pissed too when Millen shot Legacy. I was pissed. I was super pissed at him and at Legacy for the stupidity, but more so at Millen. I was upset at Legacy, but more so at Millen. And I'm with Gosha, man. But if my grandson don't wake up, there will be complications. Okay, so like if he don't wake up, there's gonna be some problems. Oh boy, that's a nice shot, man. Then Gosha, he's ooh, oh, that looks good. Okay. Let's go to chapter 135. This man, look at this man's face. He was like, "That's if Legacy don't wake up." Right. If he don't wake up, we're gonna take this whole town to smithereens. Chapter 135. Sweet stem and green peppers. Are we eating or something? Okay. From the face of a grandfather who's worried about his grandson to the face of a Komodo dragon about to go in a berserker rage. Oh yes. Look at that face, man. Ghost always looks so nice and innocent and, hunched over, basically like how Legacy is always like hunched over. He's just trying to hide his stature. But at that moment, like he lowered his stature even more. His head is like his eyes all angry looking. Oh, dude, that looks boss. Or is it that still the face of a grandfather? Okay, I gotta go back. Okay. From the face of a grandfather who's worried about his grandson to the face of a Komodo dragon about to go on a berserk rage. Or is that still the face of a grandfather, Gosha? Ooh, look at that. Boy, that looks good. I see you're still able to release your aura. And here I thought you were too old for that now. Not if Legacy's involved. Right. You know nothing of familial love. Love, huh? Sad to say that's beyond my expertise. Gosha's pissed, man. Ooh. I'm much better at talking to you this way. Oh, they're finna fight. Oh, Gosha, you're a little rusty, man. So, yeah, okay. Yafa's getting the better of him. Or maybe just because he's angry, like he can't focus right. Hear me out, Gosha. I'm sorry for getting your grandson involved in my dangerous investigation. I was only going to have him help me for one night. I wanted to believe in the strength that he inherited from you. I just didn't think he would have let Melon go. I didn't even consider it as a possibility. I was too careless. But Gosha is pissed, man. Look at this man's face. That's exactly why I didn't want him to fight anyone. Because he inherited my blood. Huh? You two are related to Legacy, son? I went to his room to switch his IV, but what? Did his condition take a turn for the worse? I'm awake. I'll be back by dawn. Legacy. Why are you leaving the hospital? Legacy. Wait, this is Legacy's handwriting. What does this mean? When I came here, he wasn't in bed. His changing clothes were gone too. He wasn't even conscious. The last time I checked up on him, he had several internal injuries. It should be impossible for him to walk out of the hospital on his own accord. Where could he have gone? The full moon filled the night with the moon's power. The moon's gravitational pull is so strong. Wait, I'm adding words. Gravitational pull is strongest at this day more than any other day of the month. It is easier for animals to absorb nutrients and moisture at this time. Adults and children alike tend to their bodies during the full moon. They gather to a special place. What's that? Deep night? I don't know. Anyway, the deep night, an event. Yep. The deep night, an event held only on nights during the full moon, is a market with stands that sell food made for nourishing the body. Also, Legacy's doing that to try to recuperate. This is not a digression to this story. Legacy was here. I'm feeling groggy from laying down so long. I need to get more nutrition. I didn't think so many animals came here to tend their bodies. I just got wounded and almost died. There's even a bullet mark. So we see Legacy looking at his bullet mark and he's walking through the crowd. Was it Mom's power that woke me up? Was it Grandpa's immunity? Today is June 17th. I was in a coma for a whole week. Wow. Or was it the power of the full moon? Excuse me. I would like 1 bottle of concentrated milk. In any case, I need to get myself some food. I'll start by replenishing my stomach with milk. There are other warm drinks that are regarded by every species, such as a mazake and eggnog. What is a mazake? Huh. There's a food stand that sells boiled moon viewing dangos to animals who want to eat while gazing upon the moon. There's also a food stand that sells sweet fried bananas to animals who want to consume a lot of calories. See, I just love how Paro just takes it everything. Like, this is a festival at night, only on the full moon, but it's like it's so incorporated with all of this stuff and food and everything. That's cool. That's what animals eat as they bask in the moonlight. Deep night is where animals tend to their bodies. Here's your boiled suman. I also put some oats on top of on the house. They're great for canines. Thank you. I feel like it's been a long time since an adult treated me with kindness. Delicious. It makes me feel alive. I've recovered. I can still live. Did I thank Mom? Did I thank her for giving birth to me? Did I thank her for talking to me again? You can be stronger and sweeter than any pure-blooded wolf ever could. So he's kind of realizing that, you know, he had a full-blown conversation with his mom, but it's kind of affecting him a little bit. And he's just now realizing it's time to sink in. I wonder if I really can. You're back from your night walk and from the afterlife. I'm sorry for bothering and worrying you. I don't know how to make up for the fact that I let Melon get away. No, it's my fault for enlisting your help despite your inexperience. I don't have any right to be angry with you. If you're okay, then go and never come back. Please, give me another chance to capture Melon. Please, let me take responsibility for my actions. No, our contract is over. You're lucky you made it out alive. Just go back to your job at the udon restaurant. About our contract. I used up all the money you gave me in advance last night. For what? So you can't end our contract. He spent all that the date night? What? Did you buy a new apartment? I'm sorry, but that's how it is. So just please let me continue our contract. I only use 700 yen, but he don't know that. That's smart, you know, so that way you can keep working and you can kind of make up for your foolishness. And he doesn't have to know that you still have plenty of money left. You know, you just don't want him to know that. Chapter 136, our electric cardiogram is a straw ripped to pieces. Okay. I've had so much to worry about these days. Okay, took seven days to grow this much. Okay, so Lewis Horns has grew back. I've had so much to worry about these days. That is taking longer than usual to grow back my antlers. What can I do to help this Shikigumi? Should I talk to Legacy about it, or should I keep him away from the back alley market like I'm supposed to? Bzz. Also, oh, she's so scared. What should I do about this female wolf? It's been a minute since we've seen Juno. That's some impressive kinetic vision you've got there. I'm scared of bugs. Okay, it looks like it was a fly. Okay, weird for you to say that after you just crushed one. Right, like you just smacked him, but you're afraid of bugs. You shouldn't be ashamed of your hunting instincts just because you're a female. Me and Juno are now close enough to have tea together once or twice a month, ever since graduation day. Jeez, no, that's not it. Okay, well, that's you sure? And then we go back to the kiss. We haven't talked about the time we kissed, and I only see her so she can tell me what's going on with the school, and all I do is try to keep my composure. Lewis Senpai, I've been thinking. You never refuse to have tea with me. Why is that? I'm just humoring your youthful passion. Youthful passion? Dude, you only, what, like 2 years older than her? You're still talking to me like that? You always look down on me. You're 17, the age where animals like to try new things. You want to talk to an older male and communicate with herbivore. I happen to be both, which is efficient for you. You're always so mean. The more I think about it, the more I think about how cynical and argumentative and scrawny you are, the more I realize that you're not my type. Yeah, so why did I fall in love with you? Uh-oh. Does this female have an inner voice? Oh, okay. She can't let go of saying anything I say or do to her. In some ways, she's more frightening than the Shishigumi in Legacy. Is she one of those females whose strength adds to their charm and gets them to the top of the pyramid of life? Oh, man. I feel so inferior as an animal that I feel like dying. You're not my type either. That's mean. I've always had my eye on females who were more small, fragile, and quiet, and quiet than me. This female feels like a breath of fresh air. So like, see, like he actually really does kind of like her and enjoys her company, but he doesn't really want to pursue that relationship with her because he's a herbivore and she's a carnivore. And I feel like that's got to be the only reason. Like, I don't feel like there's more to it, but I feel like he doesn't want to kind of push the boundaries just too much. Okay. This female feels like a breath of fresh air. Her canine tendency to talk with me without restraint and her dizzying array of expression. I could watch her forever. See, so like he actually kind of does really have feelings for her, but he doesn't want to act on them. We should leave now. What? But it's been like no time at all. Come on, let's go. Thank you for coming. You can leave your cups. Oh, okay. I'm reading stuff like, okay. The clerk's going to take care of the cups. Yeah, right. So they go to the bus stop. Louis Senpai, do you have plans after this? I'll tell her the truth. I have to push her away. I have dinner with my fiance tonight. Lies! Wait. Does he? Like, did his father kind of arrange like him for a woman or something? I don't remember reading that. Didn't I tell you? I'm the heir of the Horns conglomerate. I've had a fiance since I was very young. Oh, he did mention that. Okay, he did mention that. She's the daughter of the CEO of a large company in a red deer, just like me. That's how it is. I didn't have these outings with you for any special reason. But he's kind of pushing her away because like he's starting to develop feelings and he doesn't want to act on them. He doesn't want to push the relationship any further than it should be. And that's very valid because we all know that like having hybrid children can create some problems or not. It just depends on like the parents or whatever. But I think they'd be totally fine parents. Louis Senpai, you told me that I shouldn't be ashamed of my hunting instincts just because I'm a female, right? If you run away from me, then I'll run after you. You saw the straw I bit, didn't you? Did you remember the kiss? Did you remember our kiss? Don't you want me to do the same thing to you? Wait. Oh, she crazy. Oh, she's like, if I can't have you, like nobody can have you. I ain't the one type of chick. Oh, okay. Well, you got a stalk on your hands, man. Do you want me to do the same thing to you? Make you into a mess? Huh? So she's putting it on. She's trying to convince Louis not to leave her or whatever. Don't you blush and act like a full-fledged predator. See ya. Bye. Your marriage is going to fail. This is a political marriage. What are you talking about? I have a very good relationship with my fiance. Look at Louis's face like, I have a very good relationship with my fiance. She is pretty. But I feel like this chick is one of those people that like, you know, she's just going with the flow just because she has to. Like she doesn't really want this either. So they're out eating at a very nice and pretty, probably expensive restaurant. I'm glad you haven't changed much, Azuki-san. Yes, thank you. How long has it been since we last saw each other? 6 months. No, a whole year. My father told me you lost your right foot. Yes, that's right. I got in an accident. The fact that I survived was a silver lining. I see. Do you have any problems regarding your male functions? Oh, so she one of these, like, okay, well, I'll do whatever my father says, spit out some kids and do all of this and marry Louis, all because I have to. Pardon me? The most important thing, just in case I might be unable to give birth after several years of being your wife, the Horns conglomerate isn't so desperate that I would answer such a rude question in this restaurant. Heh. I didn't think you'd be so innocent. I'll take my leave. I should have followed your example and invited you to dinner more charmingly. I reserved a room for us. We will be married soon anyway. If you're not against it, then what say we close the distance between us for good? Okay, Louis. Okay. Lewis is getting all of the girls. All of the girls want Lewis. I mean, Legacy has Harvard. That's just one chick. Okay. But Lewis is getting all of the girls. Lewis out here pimping. So then that's how we see the hidden condo and Legacy's headed home. Juno-san, could you at least tell me why you're crying? We haven't seen each other in a while, and I don't know what's going on at school. Wow. Did something happen in the drama club? Wow. Much crying. Now he's having an affair with a girl wolf. with a wolf girl. How much of a playboy is he? Legacy is the farthest thing from a playboy. He couldn't be a playboy if he wanted to be a playboy. How did you know where I live? How did you know where I lived? Everyone in the drummer club knows. Really? I don't know what to do. You're the only one I can count on. If you're fine with me, then I'm willing to listen. But I dropped out of school, and also you don't have to call me senpai anymore. No, you're still my senpai. You're the greatest senpai of interspecies love. Dude, that is great. Okay, huh? Please give me love advice. Okay, man. These chapters were nice. They were very, very fun and informative. The very 134, we see Legacy still having that conversation with his mother, and it kind of rounded it off, and we kind of got to see why she kind of slipped into the depression that she did, because the scale started to overtake pretty much majority of her body, and we see that that's kind of why she slipped into that whole mood. But we see that her and Legacy had that one moment of connection and contact before she decided to kill herself, and Legacy kind of feels like it's his fault that she still committed suicide because he didn't turn around and embrace her that night, and hopefully thinking that, like, if he had embraced her, that would have kind of kept her a little present, maybe, I guess you could say, and so she wouldn't have wanted to commit suicide. But that's not on you, man. Like, she was having so much going on, and she just couldn't take the stress of it all anymore, and that's why she done it. Then in 135, we see that Legacy is still going through some stuff, but we see Gosha, man, dude, we see Gosha flipping out at the same time, but we see him kind of coming to a realization that, Legacy's, he has to understand that Legacy is an adult. He's going to make mistakes at first, but we see that connection between him and Legacy, like the resemblance, I guess you could say. And then we see him and Yafa kind of having that moment to where he's like, okay, you put my grandson in danger, so I'm gonna have to knock you out. But like, they didn't really get anywhere because it's, Ghost was a little rusty, or he was so enraged that he couldn't really focus. But I feel like had they kept going, their fight would have definitely broke out into like a real full-blown knock him out, drag him slugfest. But the nurse came in, and Legacy's gone. He do what now? He's gone. And he took part in like the moon festival or whatever, the deep moon or whatever, to kind of try to recuperate some nutrition and some stamina. Then he apologized to his grandfather he apologized to Yafa and told him that, I apologize for doing this, but I want to go after Melon. I want to take him down. And plus I spent all the money that you gave me. You did what now? How did you spend all of that? You're like, nah, I only spent like 700 yen. But he don't need to know that. In 136, we jump back to Lewis, and we see that Lewis is dealing with Juno and some other stuff that he has going on as well, like whether should he talk to Legacy about the Shishigumi, drag Legacy back into that, help the Shishigumi. So Lewis is dealing with some stuff as well, but I love the parts with him and Juno because that was just fantastic. And seeing their whole comparison back and forth, and Lewis start to realize that he's actually starting to have feelings for her. Maybe had you not met and had coffee with her every day and you guys talk and have discussions like every so often, you probably wouldn't have felt for her, but you're in her presence, you guys get to talking and you have moments, so therefore you're going to eventually start to develop feelings for this person that has feelings for you. And I kind of want them in a relationship. Don't get me wrong. The other chick, the dear chick is pretty, she's cool, and when she seems kind of robotic and, like, let's just leave her on that side and we're not worried about her. And let's get him and Juno together. But then we see that Juno doesn't have anybody to talk to about what's going on with her and Lewis. So she goes to Legacy Senpai to get some information because he is the senpai of Interspecial love. That was good. I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait for the next 3 chapters, man. This is your buddy Incredible, man. Don't forget to smash the like button so you can smash it any more. Comment down below, and I'll be sure to respond to each and every one of them. And subscribe, but only if you really want to, man. Remember that anime matters, anime is greatness, and anime is life, and manga matters as well because Beastars made it so, man. Peace out.
I cannot complain because today, I'm doing my thing. I stay my lane and fight through the pain.